Welcome to the channel. We're going to do a pre-market this morning. Also, we'll be opening the markets together. So thank you for joining in. My name's Craig. Let's take a look at the charts. There's a lot of stuff going on with the markets today. I do want to remind you guys, somewhere within this video, if you're on YouTube, in the chat, you'll see a random series of letters and numbers. That is a promo code for a free $200 on Prime XBT. Put it in your promo code section. I showed you guys how to do that in multiple videos. But anyways, to let you guys know, keep an eye out for that. Those of you watching on X, you may want to switch over to YouTube. That way you can see the chat. So U.S. and China trade tensions, again, still going on. The U.S. has intensified. So I'm going to read you some headlines off this. The U.S. has intensified its trade restrictions, particularly targeting the technology sector. New export controls require companies like Nvidia and AMD to obtain license for selling advanced AI chips to China. This move has led to significant market reactions. Obviously, Nvidia so far this morning's lost about 5 or 6%. AMD, same thing. So keep an eye on that stuff, because technically, you're in a bubble when one or two stocks can literally take the market with it. So just be careful. I can't stress enough the volatility in these markets and what it's signaling. I do think we are going to have a crash sooner than later that is beyond most people's, even beyond what most people can even, think about, right? So you see all these technical analysts on CNBC and all that. You have to remember, all of us, including me, have only known markets to only go up, only go up, only go up in the macro, right? We've never seen a real crash in our lifetime. We've seen our 2008 blip, right? The great financial crisis, which was nothing like the Great Depression. And the way markets, when they have a bear market like that, right, that V-bottom, V-shape recovery that means there's intervention with the government and the Fed. I don't think there's going to be that this time. Just like in 1929, the Great Depression, nobody could intervene, right? There was no intervening. There was people going under, companies shutting down, everything going to crap, and it took a long time to recover. That is how a real market recovery works, to build a stronger market. As of now, our market is so teetering on the edge that it's actually kind of scary if you don't realize it, right? But on the other side of that, it's the biggest opportunity that most of us will probably see in our lifetime. Don't forget, guys, smash the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tick that notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Like I said, the videos are going to kind of be at different times here for the next couple weeks, trying to figure out what time works best for you guys. So let us know in the chat if this works for you, or if you have a different time you would like to see it. Make sure you use Eastern time so we know. But anyways, let's get into it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was Ripple, right? Everybody talks about the Ripple's legal settlement, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the settlement details, right? It says Ripple will pay $50 million fine and XRP will not be labeled a security. So basically, they're paying the SEC, right? They're paying the SEC to not be labeled as a security. Give them $50 million, you can do what you want. Basically, that's how these whole markets are working right now. It is the Wild West, right? There's just no real regulation. Just if you have money, do what you want type thing. This will come to an end when the markets come down. So in all reality, this is what we need, is the markets to come down, and come down in a hard, huge, heavy way. So let's get into it. Let's start looking at the stuff before it opens, and we're going to take a look at the DXY. As you guys know, we're back below 100, but if you look at the long term, like I've stated over and over again, we've been much lower than these levels before. People are always going to give you fear of the dollar is dying. I don't think the dollar is dying. Could I be wrong? Yes, but I believe in the times when, if the dollar does die, nothing else is going to matter. You're just pretty much going to try to keep you and your family safe, right? So this is the Great Depression on the right compared to where we're at right now. And I just like to show uh, the similarities, right? History don't repeat, but it often rhymes. I think this is a 100-year cycle. And you can see back here, we made a high, low, higher high, lower low, bam. Same exact pattern we made over here. This right here was the 2020 crash. This right here was the 2008 financial crisis. Do you see that V-shaped recovery? That obviously, like I was talking about, so you could kind of see one here, but it didn't continue up, right? It took a long time. That is how a market actually heals itself and will actually prosper without crazy inflation, things like that. So let's take a look. So we closed yesterday. We opened and closed, it looks like, below our trend line. Make sure that trend line's right. It does seem to be right. Another open and close below this 40,600 today for the Dow. And I believe we're headed back down to our next targets. The next target being the same as the last one over here. Let's take a look at that right about here. At 38,000. Once that 38,000 is broke, then we can look at some much lower targets, guys. We have targets lower than this. This is around 20,500. I have lower targets, but of course, let's see what's going on in the medium term first, and then we'll talk about that stuff. But we could be looking at something pretty similar to the Great Depression, right? And if it is, just know that it took like 2.5 years from top to bottom. We're a few months in, guys. There's going to be up weeks. There's going to be down weeks. There's going to be up weeks. There's going to be down weeks. There's just going to be a lot more down weeks than there are up weeks, right? Let's take a look at the S&P. S&P right here, you guys. Man, we are so close to on the edge right here. It's hard to say. We may have opened and closed above it. But let's see where this goes today. It is looking bearish, in my opinion. I showed you guys yesterday the hidden bearish divergence right here on these two highs, and it does seem to be playing out. Be careful. If we do get a crazy post or a crazy news event today, we could push up, making this an inverse head and shoulders and getting the RSI way back up into the oversold zone again. But we could get up to these higher levels if that happens. Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, we did open and close above our support here. So another thing to watch for, but we're making the same inverse head and shoulders, or you could look at this as a hidden bearish divergence. All right. Right here, you have lower high here, higher high here. Now the question is, did it play out with this little blip and we continue up from here? I think today we'll know what's going to be happening there. Now we're going to take a look at my trades before we get into Bitcoin. As you guys know, we've been in a loss for a while, but we are way up in the 5-6 week period, right? So let's take a look at it. Drum roll. Here's the prime one. We are now down 24. Yesterday, during yesterday's video, we were down like 33. So making progress. Didn't quite get up as high as I wanted to enter more shorts, but that's okay because I do think we're going to go quite a bit further down. I'm going to continue staying in my shorts. We are up right now in this account is $106,000, and that's including the 24 loss. Remember, we started this account about 6 weeks ago with $7,000, right? And we've already taken out 20,000. So add that 20,000 to this, and it's with the loss 150. Take the loss 125,000. We're still up 125,000 off of 7,000. And I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated on this. As of right now, like I said, I'm going to remain in my bearish position. I'll let you guys know if I close it. And the reason I show you this is not to follow my trades, because as you can see, I don't win every trade. But what I'm showing you is that I actually trade, and we make a lot of money by trading, and you can too if you learn to do it properly, right? So anyways, let's take a look at our BITUNIX. BITUNIX is down 172. This is a much smaller trade, but same thing. I'm going to stay in this trade right now. I do believe we have much lower to go. I'm looking at the lower 70s to upper 60s for this particular move to end before we get a bigger bounce to the upside. Now, let me know what you think. If you think differently or you agree, let me know in the comments, in the chat. I'm curious to see. We will go over the chats here in a minute. This is just another way to look at Bitcoin. So I like to go off of highs and lows, right? We could even go off of this one here, I suppose, but I'm going to go off of this. And just alternate touches, right? We have a touch at the top or bottom, touch at the top, touch at the bottom, touch at the top. Next touch I would expect to be right down here at the bottom. And then we could have that rally up, right? And if that's the case, this will be like an ABC, right? But if that's the case, then we would take a measured move. And this would give, depending on where we bounce, right? This would give us, so if we bounce down here, come all the way back up over here, this bounce would get us back up to that 98 or so. But I'm looking to close my shorts and possibly get in longs somewhere in the low 70s to high 60s down here. If this bottom trend breaks, then all bets are off. It could get a lot worse a lot quicker. But as of right now, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the, let's put a band on it. And it depends on how long it takes, right? Before we know. Even out. So it depends on how long it takes, because this is a descending trend line, right? But we will know. What time is it? Almost time for the markets to open. Same thing, guys. 83.5 is what we're looking for. Right now it's holding as support. If that breaks, then we go down to the upper 70s. But like I said, my end result here is the high 60s, lower 70s. If that area breaks, like I said, obviously much further down to go. Here's our daily chart, right? Here was the daily range. We broke out of the daily range. Same thing. We get that high 60s range as a measured move to there. So still what I'm looking at, but you can also see if we go off these highs, right? We made a high, a lower high, and even a lower high. And over here we made a high, a higher high, and even a higher high, which is hidden bearish divergence. 3 of them right here in a row. So again, be cautious here, guys. If you're bullish, be cautious. Not saying it can't go up, but I'm saying you need to be cautious. This is just the macro view of where I think we're going. I've been over this many, many times. Also, the parabola. Now, this is a reason I'm going to show you why I'm staying in my longs currently, or my shorts currently. I'll show you that. But if you look right here on the parabola, we had 3 touches. 4th one broke. But what I'm watching for, just like over here, these EMAs should remain resistance, and then we should break through this lower 55 EMA, come down somewhere around and tag on this trend line here. Now, if we break above this and open and close a candle above like 86.5, I'll get out of my shorts. I think we can go higher then, but as of right now, this is looking still very bearish, and this is why I remain in my position. So let's go over. Markets are going to open here soon and see where we're at with that. The clashes with banter when Rand isn't on holiday. Don't know what that means, but okay. So do you know why I love your promo? I won once, which I used it should short 69K to 38K. Would love to short 90 to 95 or 95 right now. Do you think it's going to 95, Nick? We'll check out some altcoins here too after the markets open. Let's see. Oh, the markets are open. Let's open up Dow and have a look at what the Dow Jones is doing here. That's what I want to really keep an eye on. So here's the Dow. This is on the daily. Let's creep in on the 5 minutes here. Now remember, a lot of times we see a market reversal at 10 a.m. Wednesdays especially. And I have my mic way over here for you guys. But a lot of times it'll have market reversal. So if we do get a push up here, expect a push down at 10. let's keep an eye. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to put it on the, this is the 5-minute chart. Let's go to the 15-second chart and kind of see what we're doing here. We'll take a look at Nvidia and stuff too. Team Black Coffee Coordinate, what's happening, brother? Hey, thanks for tuning in, you guys. There's 85 viewers, only 33 likes. If you could take a second out, smash that thumbs up button. I would appreciate it greatly. Also, if you are on your mobile, close the chat for a second and then smash that thumbs up, and then you can get back into the chat. Pretty simple. Usually after I tell you guys how to do that, I get a big boost up in the likes. There it goes. Thank you very much. I'm banging in my shorts, Craig, especially in alts. Right on, man. Just be careful. Don't forget, guys, I will be putting a promo code. First one to use it on Prime XBT. You can sign up using my link down below. You don't even need to make a deposit. And you can get the $200 bonus if you are the first one to enter the code in your promo section. Your promo section is right here, and that's where you will enter the code. If you have not signed up using my link yet, if you sign up using my link right now, you get 100% deposit bonus. So 100% of whatever you deposit, they'll bonus up to $10,000. So if you put in 5,000, they'll put in 5,000. Put in 10, they'll put in 10 to use towards your margin. Put in $100, they'll put in $100 to use towards your margin. So check that out. That is going away here in the next week or so. I'll let you guys know when that ends. But if you already have an account, you can go into the promo code section and put in Savvy100, and that'll give you that bonus. BITUNIX also, remember, there is a trade competition going on there. I don't have it up here, but the two top prizes are a Rolex and a Tesla, or you can take the cash, whichever. You can also sign up to that. Use my link down below. BITUNIX, both of those have tutorials next to them. And at the end of the video, you'll see tutorials at the end of the video also. For the, what is Nvidia, you mean? Nvidia? Let's see what Nvidia is doing. Oh, gold. Let's talk about gold real quick. It is cranking. So, we were looking at this to be the top 32.9. But what I was looking at this morning, let me click out of this real quick. Let me get rid of all these fibs. And if we go off of, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. If we take a measure, or if we take our Fibonacci extensions, we're going to see how high gold could go from the bottom of 2 to the top of 3. And this isn't going to be exact because I can't freaking zoom in and get all the particulars right now, but somewhere around in here, right? And this will give you about the highest point that we could go is this 1618. So we can now move this up here. Damn, that's amazing if gold gets up there, which it absolutely could. Even though the market started coming down, remember, the market started coming down, and gold usually gets its euphoria up, which obviously this is euphoria. Gold has had some huge moves in the past, but never like that. That's huge. And if it gets all the way up to 3,800, whoo, man. But remember, gold, I think, is in an ending fifth wave too. This could just be an extended fifth wave, right? And a big, huge correction coming. Not even worried about that. All right, you guys want to check out some altcoins or what? We can do that. Where is the link for the 0 for the 200? Maria, that link for the 200 is randomly put in the chat, like right there. Solana, somebody says. Solana. Where the hell's my Solana? Oh, you know what? I got to get rid of this Lucid. Here's Solana. All right, guys, we'll take a look at Solana. And I'll zoom in a little bit too. We'll take a smaller, so where are we at here? This was what we had talked about yesterday, right? Getting up. We did not quite hit this yet, but I think same thing. Solana will probably end up coming back down to these lower levels. But remember, we do have a target up at 85 to retest this. It's possible, but I'm not too convinced on that right now. Let's go into, well, this is a 4 hour. I don't want to go too much smaller. Let's zoom in here, kind of see what's going on with it. Well, I'll tell you what this sort of looks like. Maybe not really. I don't really like this, but kind of like a reversal diamond here. You guys can see it. I don't like that top one, but it's still definitely could be a reversal diamond, and this will give you a target from the top to bottom. This would be where I would look for the next possible bounce for Solana. And then once that happens, then what do? Then you would have to look for the next formation, right? A lot of people think that you're just always, in a trade. I have been for a while now, but you're not always going to be in a trade, right? Sometimes it's just not clear and you just can't. You just don't know a direction. You just don't, nothing's pointing itself out to you. But that would be my next target there. Let's see. And if we moved this to match those points, that would line up with retesting this, this blue wedge. Now, I thought I had a measured move in here. Let's get this out of here. Let's start cleaning this up a little bit. Let's see what we're looking at. We're gonna make this a little bit cleaner, guys. I'm gonna open this up. Let's clone it. Let's get rid of this one and bring our clone up here. Look at that. So that is possible. We're back inside it now, but what I do want to look at is if it gets the bounce here at this 118, it may still continue on up to here, and that would mean Bitcoin and everything else is going to continue up, but we're going to have to wait and see. As of right now, I really don't see any divergence. Let me look in here. We do have bullish divergence. Nope. See, we had bullish divergence here, but it didn't play out because we're in a downtrend. Bullish divergence isn't that strong in a downtrend. It's just a bounce area. But right here, nothing. Now, if we go off of this low to this high, or this low to this low, we're making bullish divergence. So, yeah, be careful with that one. Got it. Nice job, Majowski, Jakowski. Sorry, business. I'll just call you business. You got it right on. Congrats, man. What's up, Bucky? 101 viewers, 48 likes. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. Smash those like buttons and let me know what chart you want to look at. Let's take another look at Nvidia over here. Or I don't even think I looked at Nvidia yet. Look at that Trump coin. It's getting clobbered. Where's Nvidia? Oh, mess. How's strategy doing? Still just holding on to nothing. Nvidia. So, it looks like if this holds as resistance for Nvidia at the 109, our next target is retesting this trend line here about the 106, and then, or I'm sorry, not 106, about 88, and then we have our 86 target. Remember, if this trend is broken, it'll probably be a pretty swift move to the downside. What I do want to look at now, let's look for some divergence here. Yep, we do have divergence right here, right? Higher or lower high there. We have a higher high here. But again, now look, as you can see, this does look like, now is this played out and this is going to continue up now? Because like everything else, it kind of looks like it might be forming an inverse head and shoulders here on the bottom. And I'll draw that out so you can see it. You can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And if that's the case, it looks like things might be getting another push up. But again, we have to wait and kind of see what happens throughout the day here. Let's go back into the Dow. Dow is kind of just wishy-washy, staying sideways. This is the 15-second chart, guys. So not a whole lot happening in here in the Dow. This does look like it's ready to get another push up, though. Again, this is the 15-second chart. I don't advise anyone to be playing on that, but it looks like the Dow, the targets to come back up and retest this trend line, if that's the case, right up to this area. And the reason I say that is because you have this push up, right? And if we just throw a trend line right here and another one right here, right? And then we take this flagpole, and that just looks like an ABC correction. So it may get up here, test this 200 on the 15-second chart, and then come down. I'm kind of having fun playing with this on the smaller time frame just to show you guys, looking for formations. You can definitely trade the 15-second charts, the 30-second charts on that. If you want to sit in front of the computer all day, you can make a lot of money scalping like that. It's not my thing. Although I told the members I will start doing that in a live stream, and I think our next members live stream we're going to go over divergence, hidden divergence, regular divergence, exaggerated divergence, things like that. Maybe we'll do some quick playing around with some quick day trading while we're doing that. So within the next couple days, we'll do that. But yeah, it does look like we'll be getting up to test that 40,300 range, somewhere in there, 40,350. Let's see what happens when that gets up there. Right on, brother. Hey, Bear's in here too. We got to get Bear, make Bear a moderator. There you go, Bear. You got a wrench now too, brother. My projected price on gold is $7,000. Holy shit, coordinate. That's huge. That is huge. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we are below on the S&P. So if this holds as resistance at the 50, say 5,400, our next target for S&P is way down here. And then we have our Dow. What time is it? 9:44. We still got 15 minutes till 10 a.m. We're below it here too on the Nasdaq. Remember, I showed you guys that hidden bearish divergence. We can go all the way from this one here, hidden bearish. But again, if this is forming some sort of head and shoulders, then we're looking at a possible target of way back up to the 19.5. And man, wouldn't that get everyone bullish if that did it? Not that I think it's going to, but it's possible if this plays out as an inverse head and shoulders. But we're gonna need a good X post or a good news event to make that happen, which could happen at any time. They could get on and say all tariffs canceled for 60 days, nothing to change, go back to what it was a month ago, or who knows, man. This stuff it's humorous. In Europe, they're not optimistic at all about the market. Is that where you're from, Maria? You're from Europe, right? Yeah, it's not looking good, but it changes day to day, right? So at this point in the markets, right, a little move up, everybody's excited, says everything, and then people say everything's okay again. A move down, and people are saying that it's over and it's crashing. It's just at that point in the markets. You guys know my take on it and where I think we're headed. But just be careful when you're following the news. Try to think for yourself and look at what's going on. And I know it's hard to understand, but what I'm trying to say is don't listen to the talking heads, right? You got your Jim Cramer, you got your analysts, you got your banks. Never listen to the bankers when they come on and tell you something. Basically, they're either trying to put FOMO or fear or greed into you, right? You got to make these decisions on your own. Look at the world right now with an honest take. Not right, not left, an honest take of what you think's going on and what situation the world's in, and then go from there. Greece, that's right. Greece was beautiful. We went to Athens and Crete Island. Stayed on Crete Island for, I think it was 3 or 4 days, and we were in Athens for 3 or 4 days, and Greece is awesome. Beautiful place. The bluest oceans I've ever seen in Greece. That was, and I'm colorblind, but I could tell they were super blue. Cold ass water, very salty, but beautiful. Weather there was amazing also. Absolutely amazing weather. The Dow's taking a pretty good hit now. Where's it at? Let's get over the Dow here. Oh yeah, Dow's taking a definite hit. Coming down pretty hard, so chances are it may pop up at 10 o'clock, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wow, not very talkative today, huh, guys? Oh, shoot. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin is trying to pop up. Right now, on the 4-hour, it is squeezed in between the 55 EMA, and then on the top, we have the 8, the 23, and the 13, or 8, 13, and 21. Let's see. Slumped. Oh, you're probably at work, huh, Blackie? Because someday you won't have to do that, right? Anywho, so it looks like Biddy wants to go test that 84,000 again. Ash said death cross at the S&P 500. A death cross in what? In the daily? Right here? That would have been... I have the 200 MA on there, but we are seeing the... So you guys know I like my EMAs, right? Love EMAs, especially in volatile markets. So when markets were boring, like traditional markets, the EMAs don't work as well, but they're pretty volatile right now. So I do like them. And right now we're having the 55 cross the 200, which is pretty damn bearish. But Ash, your death cross, you're probably using what, the 50 and the 200? Asian. Hey Savvy, I would like if you could make live videos like 15 minutes before and after opening the markets. That would be awesome, but that takes a lot of my day away. And I mean, maybe I'll be doing that in the future. I don't know. We're gonna be playing with stuff over the next couple weeks. So guys, be aware of that. I will give it, you know, I'll especially lives, you'll have an hour before I post, at least before I do my lives. So keep an eye out. Just like I said, make sure your notification bell is ticked. Make sure you're subscribed. And whoops, what's going on here? Yeah, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. And make sure your notification bell is ticked. That way you will get notified when I post videos. Like I said, we might do mornings for a little while, live stream, and then we may do recorded at night, or, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure. We're going to see what works best and what the viewers like more and what gets better views. That's what we're going to do. Ahoy, Savvy and Screen Friends. Hope everyone's having a grand day. Thanks, Danny. I am having a grand day. I'm about to, I have to golf here in about, what time is it? about an hour. So about 45 minutes, actually. So about another 15 minutes we'll hang out. I do want to see if there's a 10 o'clock reversal in about 9 minutes. We'll see what happens with that. Let's go back over to the Dow chart. Remember, this is a 15-second chart, guys, and that did not play out. One, two, three, four. Let's go back to the 4-hour. This off of here. Get this off of here. I had a lot of stuff on the 4-hour, didn't I? But we are below below the old support, which now should be new resistance on all of this stuff, guys. Even Nasdaq now. So things are looking pretty red. We love you, Savvy. We're loyal to you. Thanks, Maria. I appreciate you. And like I said, I try to make it work best for them. Obviously, it won't work the best for everybody, but hopefully it works best for more of you than it doesn't when we do figure out what times we'll actually be doing this. Savvy, what do you think of China selling Bitcoin while the markets are correcting? Now, it depends on I don't know what your thought is, Pork Chop. You say why the markets are correcting. Do you think the markets are in a correction coming down, correcting to go up higher? Or do you think the markets are coming up in a correction to go down further? You have to be clear about what you're talking about. We all don't think the same here. Denny said, been 50-mile-an-hour winds here last few days, hoping to get out a swing the sticks here soon. Oh, out and swing the sticks here soon. Been over 6 months since I touched a green. Yeah, I did mine my first this weekend. It was a little bit chilly. It's still chilly here. And last I went out, got a new set of clubs because I haven't really been into golfing. I've been golfing like once or twice a year for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years since. But before that, I was a little bit more into golf. But I'm getting back into it, so I decided to get a new set of clubs and really go at it. I got a membership at the course. And last night I went to my buddy owns a bar slash, he's got a bunch of TrackMan. I think he's got 5 of them at his location. It's in Monroe, Michigan. If anyone's near there, it's called Dirty Birdie. He's got awesome simulators in there, so I went to test out the new clubs, and the simulators was pretty fun. Correcting crash. Okay. So let me go back to your question. What do you think of China selling Bitcoin? Well, I mean, if the markets, if you're in the same boat as me, where you believe the markets have a lot further down to go and are going to go a lot further, then it only makes sense to sell Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is a highly speculative asset. It'll be the first thing people sell to, when they start needing money to pay bills because they don't have any money, right? Yeah. I think Bitcoin is still in the A wave. Let's take a look. On what time frame are you talking about, Coordinate? So you think this is A and we get a B up and then a C? Is that what you're saying? Just saw a comment that you can't tariff a Bitcoin transaction. Does that mean anything to you? No, it doesn't. They might find a way to tariff a Bitcoin transaction. You never know. Quarter crawler, lurker alert. Smash the like button, lurkers. Yeah, lurkers. If you haven't said anything, at least hit the like button. You don't have to talk, right? 4-hour time frame. Yeah, right here. So what are you saying? This whole thing is an A, or are you saying this is an A and we got a B and then a C? Not sure. I know you're not a big log chart guy, but there is a nice rising channel on log for Bitcoin. I'm sure you see my post in Discord, something worth watching, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not at all a fan of the log chart. It's a skewed view, but I mean, I can look at it, and I did see your chart. I don't remember if that was on the daily or what it was on, but I know what you're talking about. We'll go into, let's go into, I don't know, 3 days. And let's go into log. Then we're going to put this on there. So I think you were talking about this right here. But really, it doesn't match up at all on there. Yeah, so this one doesn't match up at all. We're on a daily. It does matter though. This ain't all touching here at all. So this would say, I know how you had it drawn, but let's look at this, right? So this was your high, your low, your high. It never made a touchdown back to the bottom again. That would get us back down to this area. You have to come back if you're looking at it as a channel, right? You had to touch the top, touch the bottom, touch the top. No touch at the bottom here. Bottom next. Yeah, see, you're starting way over here though, so that skews the view, right? That's a much bigger channel there. But I can look at the one you're talking about. You're obviously talking about a much smaller area. We can do that real quick. That one even doesn't really line up very well. You don't have alternate touches there. Here, let's do this. Let's go off of here, right? But this would be the same, right? I mean, you can't really go off of the middle over here. If you did that, see, your alternate touches aren't right though. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but it doesn't look like a good channel to me. So, all right. But I mean, it could be. You guys know there is a bullish count. The bullish count says that this was the bottom of wave 4, and we're going up for the 5th wave, which would be the 5th wave of the 3rd wave if this is the chart. Or I believe it is a much bigger. Where is it? I believe it's a finished 5th wave count in the big picture, and we have a big correction coming, whether it be a simple correction or a complex, right? Like maybe build out a big triangle here before coming down. I believe this is where we're at. I'm 100% okay with if I'm wrong, because as you guys know, we trade the markets. Learning to trade is a wonderful thing, right? It's like then you can look at the markets as a bank account, and whenever you want, you reach in, you grab some money, you take it out. Right on, Chris. I'll go back in the Discord maybe later after golf if I remember, and go look at yours again and see exactly where you had yours drawn out, because I'm not 100% sure where it was. So Pork Chop said one more pump before the crash in June to ruin the 2nd quarter, in my opinion. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, right? Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but the things I'm showing you are just in the macro. Things look bad right now for the markets. Not bad for us, bad for the markets, right? But like I showed you, really to me right now, the most important, let's put this back. This was my 4-hour chart, correct? Yeah. The most important chart and thing I'm looking at right now is this right here, just because of this fractal, right? Now, the reason I said I have not gotten out of my shorts is because we have not broken these EMAs over here on the top, just like we didn't over here until after breaking this blue trend. Once we break that, then we can, you know, get some wicks above here like we did over here. But I believe this fractal's pretty much playing out almost identical if you look at it, even with the EMAs, right? We wick below the EMAs right here in the middle after the first high. We wick below the 55 EMA here in the middle after the first high, and then all of a sudden broke back up and coming back down now. I do believe we are in this area and we have further down to go, but I could be wrong. I've been trying to counter my bearish count, looking for as much as I can regarding bullish indicators, with our weekly still being bullish. I think caution is crucial here. Yeah, I mean, definitely. But the weekly is bullish, kinda. Remember, I showed the bearish divergence here, right? And if you use the EMA strategy, it's still bullish, but it's definitely working towards bearish. If these EMAs cross, we're going to be much further down when that happens to verify, right? Like over here. So you were under the EMAs at 52.5 here, but the cross to tell you it was bearish wasn't till 37,000. So I'm just kind of, I'm betting on this being ahead of time. Again, I could be totally wrong. Then I'll reorganize and figure it out. But this definitely looks like a fractal here, guys, with a lot of downside after the fractal's finished. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to head out. I appreciate everyone hitting the like buttons, this and that. Don't forget, there's a free Discord. You can join it. Links down below. And yeah, have a great day. Awesome day. Have an awesome day. How about that? Have an awesome day. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button, tick the notification bell to get you notified when I do the lives, as the live streams will be at a little bit different time here and there until we get this worked out. Don't forget, we'll be giving away promo codes in the chat randomly.